Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your 7-card draw. What do I need shadow read for this full moon in March to new moon in April? I am your reader. Pisces moon, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998, author of Words of Grace, from a professional witch, available on Kindle. So proud of that one. Link in the description box. Creator on Patreon, patreon.com/drawingthecircle. I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey, yo. Hey, sis. Hope you are all well. Oh, it is shadow work time. Doing this, obviously, not in my dining room in Holbrook, but in the guest room at my family's house in Saratoga, visiting for St. Paddy's Day. Actually doing this on St. Paddy's Day. This will be releasing later today. And took a couple of days with the parents to sleep, to rest. And so I'm back at work. Really, full moon is but hours away from this current moment at the time of this recording. So if you are new to the channel, let's talk about this. A 7-card draw is just one card from 7 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline. In this case, a waning moon from full to new, March to April. Let's look at that timeline. My usual clipboard is not in front of me. Well, it is in front of me. It's usually like that, but here it's like this. We are looking at the full moon in Virgo, Friday, March 18th, 3:17 a.m. Eastern Time. I am still in New York. I just went north. I didn't go east or west. 3:17 a.m. And then we are, of course, looking at the 2 weeks of waning moon to the new moon, Friday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, on at 2:24 a.m. So you can actually wake up on that Friday and do a little self-love magic. New moon in Aries on a Friday is really good for self-love. Anything you want to do with your relationship to yourself, your shadow, your inner child, all of that stuff. But do keep in mind, that means we will be going through the dark moon in Pisces, the balsamic moon, the balsamic, like vinegar, the 3 days before that, which can be a little rough for the empaths out there. So particularly as a Pisces moon myself, dark moon in Pisces, prepare. Any bit of shadow work you can do. The 2 weeks leading up to that will certainly, hopefully, make it a little bit simpler, if not easier. Simple need not imply easy. So that being said, it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs to get more information about the timeline we are about to look at, or perhaps a parallel timeline. We all have more than one thing going on right now, and certainly my intention is to, that may my own shadow work affect the collective of humanity, particularly in support of the people of Ukraine, those who are staying to fight and those who are fleeing for their lives as refugees, to bring peace on earth. And, you know, I don't have the financial or political power. Nobody called me and asked me what to do about Ukraine. So I'm going with my mystic witch truth, love, power, and wisdom that I've discovered throughout this life, knowing and understanding that when one of us heals, all of us heal. So you do you. It's going to help the world. And if you want a private reading to help with that, link in the description box, a video here on YouTube, booking a reading with Mal. Always taking clients. Yeah. So I guess that's about it, except to say, you know, both feet on the floor if you can. Obviously, my feet are not on the floor. My ankles are on the bed, which is very comfy. I got a nice backup pillow here. That was a little clunky. But I will do the best to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can on what might be a very pivotal waning moon, shadow work time, not just for us individually, but maybe for the whole planet, particularly 12th house, Pisces, the collective unconscious. You may feel like it's all you, but it's not. You're feeling everybody's everything. Lord knows, lady knows, I am. Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. And I will try and keep the sense of humor flowing. A spoonful of sarcasm to make the medicine go down. Breathe. Still point. And here we go. As I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of the General Assembly, the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, the spirit animals and totems, as well as the pantheon of all pantheons, all lineages, cultures, and traditions. Please, one Caroline Mace archetype card to represent the 8th chakra dynamic, hovering over the head of the Piscean collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, perhaps myself included. That determines every activity underneath it energetically. What we attract, what we repel, what's going on within. The 7 chakras we're most familiar with. What is the soul archetype being alchemized from? Lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, shadow to light, in service of all of humanity. This full to new. March, April 2022. I love it. The priest, priestess archetype. It only says priest, but I have better relationships with priestesses than I do with priests, personally. So we're going to call it priest, priestess. PRIEST/ESS probably in the title. The shadow is the indication of the shadow work, the toxic. The lead, which is an insulator, and if you get lead in your bloodstream, no bueno. Lead has 3 more atoms than gold on the periodic chart, so those 3 atoms have to be transformed, released, surrendered, a waning moon deal, right? Letting go, letting God, pick your language, right? So the shadow here, I think we all know the vibe of the shadow priest or priestess, violates the trust of your spiritual community. Lived through that with pretty much every high priestess I ever worked with, more or less. Seduced by your own spiritual role. I've seen that toxicity happen hard and with some pretty famous names too along the way. Wait until the book comes out. My tell-all someday. The light attribute, what you're shooting for here, facilitate spiritual commitments, which I did. I was a high priest of a coven for decades. Notice as it makes me cough up a hairball. Excuse me, that is something stuck in my craw and I am aware of it. Working on it. Yeah, so I did weddings, like legally, and hand fastings and all that stuff, facilitating spiritual commitments, 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree, elevations, all of that. Never again the coven times pour moi. Serves as a channel of spiritual energy, however. That's a lot of y'all. So if any of you are even Reiki 1, you are serving as a channel of spiritual energy, right? Whatever your spiritual practice is, if it is something that has a certain amount of, let's say, devotion to it, then this could be you for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And everybody needs to be praying right now for the well-being of all. It's not the easiest thing in the world, is it? When you consider that all means everybody. This is a divine family archetype, so we're looking at you developing your spiritual power through the current lessons in your life. And again, through unity, consciousness, and holographic reality, it helps everybody if you do the shadow work. Okay, there is our archetypal foundation. Let's look at the next 4 chakras down. The crown, the 3rd eye, the throat, and the heart. So if you think of that archetype, right, you're learning your lessons, it's going to send down through the satellite dish of the crown chakra and the info of the 3rd eye, the choices and decisions, willpower, and the emotions, right? As you do that work, you're going to be channeling that energy down into physical form. But this is the internal world, the yin internal world, the feminine energy, the goddess energy, hence Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Breathe. Still point. As I call upon my goddesses of water, the sign of Pisces, powers of the West, please, my beloveds. 1 card in clarity for the Pisces collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. Alchemizing the priest, priestess archetype from lead to gold, doing the shadow work. This full to new March, April 2/2. 8 of Cups. Walking within. The key word on the card is withdrawal. I know you're further away than you usually are in my dining room. And I've got Labradoodle puppies barking in the background. The 8 of Cups, we see here a woman with a torch who rowed a boat with that torch to an island, following a trail of cups, some standing, some spilled, into a cave, withdrawing into oneself. Certainly good for shadow work. Certainly speaking of the element of water, the emotions, which is the, the Pisces thing, mutable water, to find that 9th cup, right? That self-love, that self-fulfillment, regardless of what's going on the outside, can totally get this, particularly if you are a vibrational, energetic empath, feeling other people's stuff as a healer, more divine feminine, the divine masculine, more heart chakra than third eye. Certainly that withdrawal for self-care is essential, otherwise you get overwhelmed, and if you're not aware that what you are feeling is being amplified by what's going on planet Earth, it can lead you to some pretty drastic actions. So it feels like right now on the inner, it's saying you got to feel it to heal it. There is a way through it. To embrace those cups that are still standing, the things that feel good, to focus on the things that are of love in your life, as well as those that have been spilled. Because if you are feeling an exaggerated sense of grief and loss over something in your life, it's probably amplified by what's going on planet Earth. Y'all, possibly. We are all one, after all. So, let's keep going. The next 3 chakras down are the masculine energy, the external world, looking at you from the outside in, you looking at the outside from the inside. Sometimes it's both of that. There can be a lot of mirroring, certainly, going on, but the lower 3 chakra dynamics completing the set of 8. Root chakra is tribal, right? Global. Racial empathy, right? Racial dynamic. Second chakra, one-on-one, umbilical dynamic relationship between you and another person or thing. And solar plexus, your relationship to yourself, your personal intuition, your gut, your self-esteem, your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, your boundaries. And certainly with the 8 of Cups in the inner, that might be the case, more solar plexus for you to kind of see what's going on the outside here. Let's see what hits. I usually say the table. Let's see what hits the bed. That doesn't sound right. Breathe. Let's keep that sense of humor if possible, shall we? Here we go. Still point. As I call upon my gods of water, the sign of Pisces, powers of the West, please, 1 card in clarity for the Piscean collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What do they need to be aware of on the outside, whether it's them, somebody else, some of that, all of that. Lower 3 chakra dynamic with the priest in the 8th. The 8 of Cups on the inner, please show us the outer for them. This full to new. Thank God. The Sun. Apollo in the mythic tarot. Definitely a card of healing, a card of light, a card of truth. Things being brought to light. Break chains of illusion and set all things to right. Reveal what has been hidden and bring the truth to light for the well-being of all. And with harm to none as we will it. So let it be done. Yeah, when you've been lied to your whole life, you learn that spell and memorize it. So certainly, you are guided here. There is healing, there is wholeness, there is even some happiness to be had but probably fulfilling your role in terms of your spiritual power. You're going to be given what you need and light up. If this is you from the outside looking in, yes, you are going in, doing the deeper work, feeling the challenging feelings, facing the shadow, but doing it with really the god of healing, at least the solar aspect of it. Very psychological healing. But he is also the bringer of plagues. My beloved Apollo, our beloved Apollo, and father of the muses, right? The arts, a way of expressing our emotions and feelings into the world. So an interesting dynamic there. Such a deep internal yin with that Eight of Cups. Yes, possibly walking away from something, but more importantly, in this particular deck, walking into yourself, into this cave and into the underworld. I mean, who's to say? Maybe she's crossing the river Styx here to go from the conscious mind, cross the subconscious mind into the unconscious mind, which is collective. So we have that healing power of the sun there. And Apollo has a stake in this world surviving too, by the way. They all do, except maybe for some of them. Let's get you a healing mantra then. Nothing like a healing mantra to guide you through, particularly the work of Matt Kahn, the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck, the first of three, what I like to call bookie book readings. I'm going to read from the bookie book. Something to chant, right? To enchant with, you know, start into your coffee, your chamomile tea. Actually, chamomile tea with the sun card would probably be a good idea. Let's see what our healing mantra is. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly, because this could be externally about anything. One card in clarity, please, for the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the perfect healing mantra to help us with the shadow work, with this priest, priestess archetype in the 8th withdrawal, going in to do the work for shoresies, but with that sun on the outer, really giving us the enlightenment, the truth, the clarity, the healing, and maybe even the happiness support, allowing our light to shine here. This full to new March, April 2022. Make it specific for us. Awakening inspired action. There's only what life is asking of me. Now, I know this one came up before. Let's see. Demystifying darkness, untangling neglect, anchoring the light, expanding inner power. Nope. Inspiring others, discovering happiness, dispelling sadness, celebrating simplicity, balancing the brain, awakening inspired action. Aquarius just had this. I did this day before yesterday. That's why I didn't remember it. So there's a double whammy. Aquarius into Pisces. Feels like the end of the zodiac here. More of the, like I said, global picture. Aquarius being the external global. The Pisces, the internal global collective. Awakening inspired action. There's only what life is asking of me. But when I get this one for myself, and I do, I've worked all of these mantras for over 2 years now. It's like, well, what part of life? The external life? The internal life? But as a priest, priestess, I think we're being asked to awaken inspired action, right? Being a channel of spiritual energy is what being inspired, inspirited is about. Let's see what Matt Kahn has to say on the subject. Awakening inspired action. There's only what life is asking of me. When you awaken inspired action, you are an open, willing participant in your soul's journey. You are ready, willing, and able to face any feeling or make any necessary change just for the chance to serve the cosmic plan of the universe. Exactly what I was just talking about. And let us underline, face any feeling necessary. 8 of Cups. You don't need to do that on camera with everybody watching. or anybody knowing. We can be covert about that. That's what boundaries are for. When inspired action has been awakened, you radiate higher frequencies of light for the well-being of all. In other words, the healing of humanity, planet Earth, and the plants and the animals, the birds and the bees, the flowers and the trees and the sky up above, with that thing called love. He rolled all three of his eyes. This mantra is ideal for overcoming self-sabotage, helpful, resolving boredom, who has time for boredom, and increasing fulfillment. And I do think that increasing fulfillment is indicated here. There is inspired action. In fact, Apollo, being inspired by Apollo, the god of the arts, many different forms of the arts, he tends to be more classical music. Dionysus tends to be more, funk, jazz, rock and roll. Certainly, there is inspired action to be taken here. This is a pretty divine masculine card, the Sun. So it is about taking action. But it needs to be inspired, meaning spirit-driven, which means as a Pisces, we need to really feel what we need to feel and not act on the stuff that is detrimental to our well-being and for the well-being of all. In other words, you got to feel it to heal it, but don't burn down the village. I think there are enough villages being burnt down right now. Yes? Would you agree? Comment. Yeah. Let's keep going. Let's keep it light during a shadow read and what really looks like the Book of Revelations playing out on the news. Let's go with the higher selves of all involved, using the Whispers of Love Oracle. Now, the higher selves of all involved, so this might be everyone on planet Earth at this point, could just be you, could be other people in your life involved. Let's see what they have to say. Breathe. Still point. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. What is the whisper of love for the Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, helping them, giving them the clarity, guidance, and grace, the information, inspiration, insight they need to alchemize this priest, priestess archetype with the 8 of Cups on the inner withdrawal, the Sun on the outer, awakening, inspired action. There's only what life is asking them to do, so give them some insight, some clarity, guidance, and grace for the Piscean collective this full to new. Actions speak loudly. Express your love through your actions. And I'm going to call out a double whammy here. Actions speak loudly right next to awakening, inspired action. Now, I will refer to Abraham Hicks briefly for a moment. They said, inspiration, you can be inspired to punch someone in the face. You could be inspired to key somebody's car. Obviously, that's not what we're talking about here. But being a channel of spiritual energy is kind of verbally saying, allowing yourself to be filled with spirit, to come from spirit, to act from spirit, awakening, inspired action. And do understand that your actions speak loudly. So as deep yin as this is conversely how bright this yang, this masculine, this action, Apollo Sun energy is for you on the outer. Yes, could be simple acts of kindness, could be donating money, but could be a creative manifestation for you that helps heal you and this world by awakening that inspired action and those actions speaking loudly, expressing your love through your actions. All right, this kind of makes sense. You got to go deep though. That's the price of admission on this one. You got to feel it. You might as well. Because what if you are relieving the pressure of the planet by you taking a half hour a day or whatever to feel what you need to feel? Cry, leave it on the dance floor, and then go take a shower. Go take a nice 3 salt bath with some apple cider vinegar in it. Yeah. Exfoliate. Soul exfoliation. Oops, I jumped a deck. You don't want to jump a deck, particularly when it's the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Everybody has animal spirits, spirit animals and totems with them at all times. They're not quite the same thing, but that's a conversation for another day. So if you're going to do the shadow work, know who's with you to help for this particular timeline we're looking at. Please take a nice deep breath. Second to last card down. Still point. As I call to the spirit animals and totems of the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, watching this video, receiving this reading, please, who walks with them, who crawls with them, who swims with them, who flies with them, helping them with the shadow work, protecting them, giving them the guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power necessary to help heal this world with the priest archetype in the 8th. 8 of Cups, heart, third eye crown, the sun, Apollo, root, sacrum, solar plexus, chakra, awakening, inspired action. There's only what life is asking of them, and their actions do speak loudly, putting their love into action. What is the Divine Animals Oracle message for them, please? This full to new March, April 2022. The Horse, Freedom, gorgeous card. You're not going to be able to see it. I highly recommend this card. As a matter of fact, I bought it from the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs, where I'm headed tomorrow to do a reading for the for the owner, Veronica, and pick up another deck. I think I'm getting a chakra deck this time, so I don't have any chakra cards. I think I want them, and I saw them there yesterday when I brought my mom there. The Horse, Freedom. This can certainly speak of emotional freedom. Card number 24. Wrong bookie book. I only read the first part and the last part of this, the verbal sketch, and then the magic at the end of it. And I know the magic on this one is a little long. So, breathe. Take this in. We're looking at freedom. And isn't that what's at stake on planet Earth? The freedom of the people of Ukraine, your own personal freedom. It's all one thing. Tyranny comes in many forms. Card number 24, the Horse. To be truly free, we must learn true independence. Trust yourself. As listening to people who may have other agendas is not the way to make good, clear decisions. Hence the withdrawal. Yeah, go with your deeper inner truth. Not necessarily the conspiracy theories that you hear. And some of them might be true. I don't know. But I can certainly go with my own internal guidance and grace and take those things into consideration. But we're talking about freedom here in terms of your decisions of how to act. You need to do that for yourself. Individuation from our parents is a natural process. That could be from society as well. Although it is often fraught with difficulty on both sides, particularly with the tribalism on planet Earth right now. It's not, we are all one tribe. We are all one life force. But we're not acting like that. That's what war is about. It's a root chakra crazy dealio. Your true power resides in your ability to always know you have a choice. And it is yours to make. How do you want to put this into action? Burn down or bless the village. Your call, my fish family, my mer people. Horse magic is profoundly free and powerful. To ride a horse at full gallop is to experience the sacred bolt of the most primal liberty. When you are feeling trapped or small, expand your field by calling for their energy. There is also a long history in physical and mental healing with horse energy, big horse whisperers. I'm a bear whisperer. And this can be used when you are ill or unstable. Horse energy invokes a calm and solid presence and can be used to quiet your spirit if you are feeling disturbed. And if you're an empath, how could you not? This is absolutely about your own personal healing that affects the world, not just vibrationally, but through your actions. Horse magic is also an expression of trust. A powerful horse could go anywhere it wants, yet it is willing to be led. A person trusts the horse to be sure-footed, leap and run away from danger, while the horse trusts the human to be its partner, to not hinder, to take care of it, to guide it. It can be a very deep bond if you allow it to be. If you are ever doubting yourself or feeling trapped, engage some horsepower, expand your field by calling for their energy. In other words, what you're feeling isn't just yours. You may be feeling the people around you, the people in your neighborhood, the people in your country. You may actually be empathing all of planet Earth, which once I started doing these readings on YouTube, I became a global empath. I'm literally feeling tectonic plates shift some days. So, you know, to get that, to call upon that horse energy for our own freedom so that we can express this and take action in ways that are healthy, right? That are manifestations of our inspiration, of our own, what is a priest or a priestess if not a vessel through which the divine works, right? Serves as a channel of spiritual energy. We could be the superheroes on this one. We could be heroes, at least just for one day. Let's get the hidden blessing here. Within all the shadow, there is light. Within all the lead, there is gold. Within what seems like a curse is a hidden blessing always. And that's why we're going to use the Blessed Be, the mystical Celtic blessing cards to enrich and empower by Lucy Cavendish to give us an indication of some light at the end of this tunnel. Should we choose, and we do get to choose, there are chakra, willpower, choices, and decisions. We choose whether or not we do this shadow work. And just remember, there's a lot more at stake here than just your own emotional field. Yeah. Let's see what the pantheon of all pantheons has to say is the hidden blessing. Last card down. Please take a nice deep breath. And I'll put it together in a prayer, and then we'll chat a little bit at the end. Here we go. Clear that throat chakra. Still point. As I call to the pantheon of all pantheons, all traditions, lineages, and cultures, please, what is the hidden blessing for the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video? Receiving this reading with the priest, priestess archetype shooting for facilitating spiritual commitments, perhaps even within themselves, serving as a channel of spiritual energy by going within with the 8 of Cups, withdrawal on the inside to discover and embrace that 9th cup that they will come to, and eventually maybe the 10 with Apollo, the card of the sun on the outer. Absolutely there is healing here. Absolutely there is light. There is truth. There is even perhaps some happiness here. Some clouds burning away to reveal the sun of clarity and healing for the well-being of all. Awakening, inspired action, really bringing those chakras into alignment from the 8th chakra all the way down into physical form, because their actions speak loudly that we are to express our love through our actions with great freedom, regardless of what anybody else thinks they can do them. We are going to do us. You do you. That kind of freedom, that horsepower, bringing our love into action, doing all this, doing the shadow work over the 2-week period from full to new for the Piscean collective. What is the hidden blessing you have for them, pantheon of all pantheons, this full to new March, April 2022. You're gonna love this. A blessing to shield and safeguard you. Now, I don't know. This is like a cross between the Morrigan and Japanese animation. If you ever have the deck, the Blessed Be deck, she's definitely working it, right? 3 ravens. She's got that blue kind of inky, like Green Arrow, Stephen Amell season 1 and 2 thing going on there. Blessing number 45. A blessing to shield and safeguard you. Last bookie book, and we do the blessings for realsies here at Drawing the Circle Productions YouTube channel. Please take a nice deep breath. A blessing to shield and safeguard you. Imagine this going out to the people of Ukraine as well, because you're doing the work. A traditional protective blessing from the Carmina Gadelic, a collection of traditional Celtic blessings to entwine the forces of the ancient guardians with the needs of your day, bringing back to life the sacred ways so that your day returns to magic and takes on the shape of the divine. This is the last, no, it's not the last one, but this is a real ancient one, and please forgive my mispronunciation. A lot of the words I'm about to read in this full-on blessing are like ancient Gaelic, Celtic. We're gonna cope. Breathe. Here we go. Shield and safeguard us, valiant Nawada of the white sword, who subdued the Firbolg of blood, for the love of the tribe, for pains of Danu's children. Hold thy shield over us, protect us all. Hold thy shield over us, protect us all. Danu, beloved, mother of the shining ones, shield, O shield us, lady of nobleness, and Bridget, the beauteous, shepherdess of the flocks, safeguard thou our animals, encircle us together. Safeguard thou our animals, encircle us together. And Ellen, beneficent, benign, governess of the trackways of power, invoke the star of power upon the path. Guide well thou ourselves, shield our procession. Guide well thou ourselves, shield our procession. O mother, O maiden, O crone of wisdom, be the triad with us day and night. On the Mecher plain or on the mountain ridge, be the triad with us and cloak around us. Be the triad with us and her cloak around us, for our well-being, for the well-being of the Ukrainian people and the people of Europe, and for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. And so it is. Blessed be. It does make sense. Draw down your spiritual power. Go within. Feel what you gotta feel. Heal what you gotta heal. Because the light, the clarity, the Spirit's there for you to then awaken inspired action. And those actions speak loudly, but you have the freedom to do this or not. And it all brings a blessing to shield and safeguard you and yours and the people of the planet who are under, yet again, one toxic masculine energy that's trying to turd in the punch bowl for everybody on planet Earth. So did this make sense to you? Did this help? Then please hit the thumbs up, shift the algorithm, and help other Pisceans find it. And if you want more of me here on YouTube, you know how to do that. Hit the subscription button and the notification bell, because I put these out when they are done and ready. I am off the treadmill of cranking out content for content's sake. No, I am a sacred artist. And if you want to go deeper, if you really want to come play Patreon, patreon.com/drawingthecircle. I am the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo of Lyons, and it is my honor to serve my fishy family, my mer people. Mer. Comment, how does this feel to you? Does it help? Is it helpful? Can you do it? And reach out for a private read, should you need, for the well-being of all. My honor, my pleasure. What a powerful way to end this Shadow Read series. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed, my beloved Pisceans. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.